Good morning. It is Friday, September 20th. Here's what we're working on. The city of Burlington is asking for input into its 2025 draft budget.
The honeymoon capital of the world is jacking up the prices for visitors wanting to get married in the falls.
And Nelly has been hit with a copyright lawsuit over a decades-old album. Good morning. Oh, wait a minute. Emily is in a different spot today.
I'm not supposed to be standing here.
But you are.
I am. It's getting hot in here. I love Nelly a little bit.
Still singing though, eh? The Band-Aid on the face, you're just like, what's that covering? How many hats you wearing today, Em?
3?
Okay.
Does that count? Well, does traffic count as its own hat? Because to me, it counts as its own entity. Yes, I am going to be doing your weather and your traffic and your entertainment news.
Okay, well, glad to have you.
And then the remotes as well.
Oh, yes, and then I'm going to be going off to,
Why are we here? Let's just let her do everything.
I'm going to put my feet up.
Yeah, right? We're in vacay mode anyway, aren't you?
You guys know that's not a good idea. Okay, yesterday, how did we enjoy that?
Beautiful.
Very beautiful yesterday.
We're on a serious run. I know it's coming to an end soonish, but like
tomorrow.
Is it?
I'm like the bearer of bad news. We could see some rain tomorrow, maybe even some thunderstorms during our playing pool.
Really?
I know.
I thought it was supposed to be a nice day.
It was, but you know, the world is round and things change.
Things change.
This is what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to give you a little traffic tease, a little forecast tease. Things are looking pretty good right now. 403 Waterdown Road. Everybody is behaving nicely, which is good. We are going to be taking a look at the QEW, Appleby line, everything moving smoothly at this hour. We've got the QEW at Guelph line, again, no major issues, and the QEW south end of Burlington Skyway also looking really good, as well as the Burlington side. So that's a look at your traffic. Forecast, still a hot one today, but we will have more details on that. But first, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, one person's been arrested after a series of windows were smashed at a central Hamilton church. It happened around 9:30 last night at the All Saints Church. It's on Queen Street South at King Street West. A 47-year-old man was arrested. Police are not looking for any other suspects, and the scene has been cleared.
Well, Hamilton police are trying to track down a man who did not show up for a sentencing hearing. 51-year-old Serge Kenyiki was convicted of sexual assault and forcible confinement. Kenyiki was sentenced to 4 years in prison but failed to appear in court. He's believed to be in the Hamilton or Halton area.
A mom of a child with special needs is calling out her daughter's Waterdown school for a lack of supervision. Melissa Stevens says Peyton, her daughter who's in grade 2 at Mary Hopkins Elementary School, has gone missing 15 times in the past 2 years. She says on the Friday of the first week of school, Peyton was left outside unattended and wasn't informed by her teacher or the office staff. She was instead notified by an aftercare worker. Another mom, Laura Vimble, says her child with special needs ran into a similar situation at the same school last year.
I'm just so disappointed that there isn't a better plan in place for our incredibly vulnerable children.
She's had a seizure at school last year. She still has many ones now. So if she's left unattended and she has one, it could have very bad outcome, and that's my worst fear. And they're not taking it seriously.
Now, CHCH News reached out to the Hamilton Board of Education about the incidents and was told it does not discuss details pertaining to specific students because of privacy. It says it will continue to do everything it can to ensure all students feel supported and well cared for at school.
The defense will make its closing arguments next month. Actually, one second, can we go back to, let me go to this story. Yeah, the defense has wrapped up its testimony in the Hamilton murder trial involving 2 cousins. So 16-year-old Mark Bistow-Young was stabbed to death at a family gathering in July of last year. According to an agreed statement of facts between the defense and the Crown, he was killed by 22-year-old cousin of his by the name of Laureano Bistayoung. He'd been stabbed in the chest. So the court has already heard that at a basketball game before the stabbing was rough and the players had agreed to no fouls.
It makes me very angry, actually, because Mark was anything but the image that they're trying to portray, in my opinion. Mark was just loving and charismatic, and I just don't think that despite of what anything happened, that should have been the result.
So the defense is going to be making its closing arguments next month.
City of Burlington is out with a draft budget for 2025, and before it gets final approval in November, it wants input. Simone Gavros is standing by with more.
Hi, Annette. Well, yes, the budget isn't finalized just yet. This is just part of the steps that the city is taking ahead of that final budget date in November. But this is just a summary of this draft budget, and now they are showing the public exactly what they're hoping to prioritize for 2025. Now, some of those key focuses are going to be on affordability, for example, as well as sustainability, livability, and transparency. Now, right now, the preliminary budget projects a 5.25% tax increase for 2025 when combined with Burlington, Halton, and the school boards. That's about a $50 tax increase. It also includes an increase in spending of just over 8% for Burlington. Last year, the overall tax increase was 6.68%. There's also going to be major capital projects planned for 2025 to help maintain or improve city infrastructure. Now, that includes $5.2 million for stormwater management. Flooding was a major issue in Burlington this summer when heavy rainfall destroyed basements and closed down roads. Now, the focus will include drainage upgrades, more stormwater capacity, and erosion control to ensure less flood risk and flood damage. Now, Mayor Marianne Mead Ward will be holding meetings to discuss the budget with the public. They start on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week, and then on October 3rd and October 8th. Now, this morning, I've reached out to Mayor Marianne Mead Ward for more updates on what the budget is hoping to prioritize for 2025. For now, Annette, back to you.
Thanks very much. Well, public computer use at the Hamilton Public Library branches, it's slowly getting back to normal. They have been shut down since a cyber attack hit the city of Hamilton at the end of February. Public computers at the Central Library branch are usable again, and library staff are working to restore service at all of the branches. Well, there were marches around the world last night to protest sexual violence, gender-based violence, and street harassment, and that included a march in Hamilton.
I believe a world free violence is possible.
The event is called Take Back the Night. This group in Hamilton started at Hamilton City Hall, made their way to James Street, down King, and over to Hess and back around to City Hall. It happens every September. In Hamilton, it's been happening for more than 40 years. This year's theme is I Believe a World Free of Violence is Possible. The march is hosted by the Sexual Assault Center of Hamilton and Area, or SASHA. Well, it now costs a lot more to get married in the honeymoon capital of the world. Niagara Falls has voted to hike the cost of a civil marriage ceremony. It's gone from $350 to $450 for residents, $750 if you're visiting from out of town. On top of that, there's a $150 fee for a marriage license, and that's just for the basic service, not for some of these beautiful City Hall wedding photos that we found online. Niagara City Council says rates will be reviewed every year. There were more than 430 civil wedding ceremonies in the Falls at City Hall last year.
All right, let's get to Sportsline. And listen, it's been a tough season for Blue Jays fans, and it doesn't make it any easier seeing what that guy with the LA Dodgers is doing as Shohei Ohtani made baseball history last night with the greatest night ever.
On a 1-2, Ohtani sends one in the air, the other way, back it goes, gone! One-of-a-kind player, one-of-a-kind season. Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Okay, for casual fans, 50-50 it means 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Why is this so rare and has never happened before? Because a player who hits 50 home runs is never generally fast enough to steal 50 bases until Shohei. After he was unable to pitch this season, he shifted his focus to something, and that was stolen bases. That's what he targeted. He wasn't done, though. There's the search for the ball. He would hit 3 home runs of the night, go 6 for 6 from the plate, 2 stolen bases, and the Dodgers 20-4 thrashing of the Miami Marlins. Oh yeah, the Dodgers clinched the playoff spot too. Not making us feel any better, Shohei, but as baseball fans, we are pretty lucky to watch this man play.
Due up here in the 7th. As Guerrero gets one in the air, deep down the left field line, and gone. Up into the second deck. Number 29.
Okay, he's no Ohtani, but we do have Vladdy Jr. And listen, after a slow start to the season, he's put a really nice season together and helped the Jays avoid a sweep at the hands of the Texas Rangers. He would hit his 29th and 30th home runs of the season, and the 4-0 win becomes the first player in team history to hit 30-plus home runs in 3 seasons prior to his 26th birthday. His average is up to .322, which is second best in the AL. Here's Kevin Gausman had a great start, allowing no hits before leaving in the 5th with some back tightness, just as a precaution. Jays, they're in Tampa tonight. So that's the good news. The bad is Bo Bichette's season. Oh, man. After returning at the beginning of this series after a long absence because of a calf injury, his season came to an end because of a fractured finger when he was taking ground balls, ending his forgettable season. In the end, he only played 81 games in his 6th year, .225 batting average, only 4 home runs. Big offseason to come for Bo.
Short shot, quick throw, good move, and despite hanging on to the shirt into the end zone goes Alan Lazard.
To the Thursday night in the NFL, where Aaron Rodgers making his 2nd home debut for the Jets. The first one only lasted 4 snaps at the beginning of last season before rupturing his Achilles and ending his year. That was his first TD pass to his pal Alan Lazard, and he would finish with 2 of them on the night as the Jets had no problem with the visiting New England Patriots, beating them in a bit of a snooze fest. 24-3 was the final. Well, massive game down the QE tonight as the Ticats looking for the season sweep against the Argos, but it's also a must-win. They got to continue winning if they want to make the playoffs. They were doing it without their starting running back Greg Bell, who the Cats placed in the 1-game injured list with an Achilles injury after he was taken down near the end of the game against Ottawa. So that means James Butler, who's been watching from the sidelines since head coach Scott Milanovich had the choice to start rookie Bell over Butler. So no matter who plays behind Bo Levi Mitchell, they need a big game along with a continued effort by the defense and special teams. Kickoff at BMO Field goes just after 7.
Well, if you're just about to head out the door, 6:13 on this Friday, September the 20th, things are looking good at the 403 Waterdown Road. Things are moving smoothly, which is good news. The weather is cooperating as well. Dry roads always helps. QEW Skyway, this is the Hamilton side. Again, traffic looks good. 401 Airport Road. Volume is starting to build in, but everybody, again, behaving themselves. The 403, the 407 split also looking good at this hour. And the Garden City Skyway East also looking good. All right, in terms of our forecast for today, we do have a fog advisory, so you may see some really dense fog patches, 0 visibility in some regions. This is mostly in through St. Catharines, through Grimsby, and the northern Niagara region. This fog is expected to dissipate as the day goes on. Whoops, I lost my map. Hold on. It's been a while. Okay, 15 degrees right now. We're mainly clear. The wind very light coming out of the north-northeast at about 9 kilometers an hour. This is the news that I didn't want to bring. It's like Steve and Shelley and Brian were like, sorry, Emily, you get to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to rain coming into our region after an incredible stretch of dry, sunny weather. So the high pressure that we've been soaking up has started to fade, and we are going to be seeing a cold front coming through the region tonight and into tomorrow. This is going to be giving us a lot of increasing cloud and the chance of a few spotty showers, possibly even an isolated thunderstorm throughout the day tomorrow, but then clearing just in time for Sunday. So the weekend will not be a washout. Today, we have tons of sunshine, starting to see some increasing cloud towards the south. Burlington, 24 degrees. Guelph getting up to a high of 26. Tonight, still staying relatively mild at 18 degrees down towards the south. In through the Golden Horseshoe, everybody staying well above our seasonal average. Temperatures tomorrow are still going to be quite warm, but yes, it could be unsettled just in time for our plane pull. But we'll talk more about that coming up. Here's Annette.
Okay. And
I'm here too.
Oh yeah, and this guy is here too.
Tim.
Sorry, Tim's here too.
Hi.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Emily.
Right now we're going to break.
Not?
We're going to break.
Oh, we're going to break.
Go to break, and then we're going to talk to Emily again.
Oh, that's right.
No.
Sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad.
It's somebody's Friday before their vacation.
I'm already in vacation mode. Okay, we'll be right back.
So,
I think. Please go to commercial.
Please. Business news too.
Okay, let's say good morning now to Emily.
Again?
Away from weather and traffic and in her normal chit-chat spot. Too many moving pieces in today's show.
It's a lot for
and
Friday.
It's all you.
Yeah, it is all me. I'm the one that's running. Okay, well, in entertainment, we do have some really good stuff coming up to chat about. We're talking about Stevie Wonder, who is going on tour just ahead of the presidential election. And Sabrina Carpenter is putting together a holiday special. And we did already chat and tease Nelly being sued. So we will discuss and get into that story.
Okay, something else too. If you have to leave, make sure you PVR the show because we have some very special guests for our Music Friday today.
Yes.
Sharon from Sharon, Lois, and Bram are coming up, and we're going to be singing a couple of songs, including one you might know.
It was so awesome, so awesome. Okay, 6:18 right now, taking a look at business figures on your Friday morning. In overseas trading, Canadian dollar is down just by 1 basis point to 73.7 cents U.S. Gold is up almost $20. Crude oil has lost a quarter. It's trading $71.70 U.S. a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down across the board with a triple-digit loss in Frankfurt.
Checking on Asia, markets up in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. What about North American markets on Thursday? Yeah, okay. Some big gains on Bay Street and Wall Street. Look at some of those numbers, up 273 for the TSX. Dow Jones up 522, NASDAQ up 440. Let's see what happens as they wrap up the trading week a little bit later this morning.
Well, because the U.S. government or U.S. Federal Reserve cut interest rates for the first time in 4 years. Well, the Ontario government has ended its fiscal year with a deficit of $600 million. Now, that's better than the $1.3 billion deficit projected in last year's Ontario budget. Revenue was up 8% to $1.6 billion, largely driven by increased tuition revenue from international students at colleges and universities. However, the federal government announced earlier this year it is slashing the number of international students' permits, and Ontario expects $3 billion in losses just for the college sector in the next couple of years as a result.
Well, the longtime CEO of TD Bank Group is set to retire next year amid the bank's money laundering scandal in the United States. Bharat Masrani, who's on the left in this picture, says he takes full responsibility for TD's anti-money laundering challenges because, well, they took place on his watch. The head of TD's Canadian Personal Banking Union, Raymond Chung, he's going to become the next CEO. TD Bank had to set aside billions of dollars in its latest quarterly results to pay fines expected in the U.S. because of anti-money laundering failures.
One of the world's most famous seafood chains has been able to claw its way out of its financial problems. Red Lobster has emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States. The restaurant's new CEO says the Florida-based business is stronger, more resilient, and ready for a bright new chapter. The restructuring process includes more than $60 billion in funding. The first Red Lobster opened in 1968. There are now 545 locations in the U.S. and Canada. Red Lobster employs roughly 30,000 people.
Nike CEO is retiring next month. John Donahoe will be succeeded by former Nike executive Elliott Hill. So this announcement, it gave Nike stock a 9% boost. Nike, well, they've been struggling with flat sales in the last quarter because of distribution issues. In the last few years, Nike had slashed the number of retailers that sold its products to try to bring more customers to its websites, and that did not work.
Okay, taking a break right now. Emily is back with your traffic, your 7-day forecast. She also has a remote today and chit chat. Doing it all.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Morning Live. It is 6:24. If you're just heading out the door, not much to worry in terms of traffic. Not much to worry about in terms of weather either. We've got relatively clear skies, but you can see this system towards the bottom of your screen. This is what's going to be pushing in not only cloud cover, but the risk of a few isolated showers throughout the day tomorrow. Might even see an isolated thunderstorm. 15 degrees right now in Hamilton. We're 17 degrees right now in Toronto, 15 in Mississauga, and 17 through Grimsby. We do have a fog advisory in place for St. Catharines, Grimsby, Northern Niagara region. Dense fog patches could be dealing with near zero visibility, so give yourself a little bit of extra travel time. Go a little slower. Here's a better look at this cold front as it tracks its way across the lower Great Lakes, bringing us some spotty showers, the risk of isolated thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow. Keep that in mind if you do have outdoor plans. But then Sunday, we return to a lot more sunshine. Just a very quick snapshot of the 7-day forecast. You can see the big trend. Temperatures are going down to more seasonal values. Okay, a lot more on this coming up, but first the news.
And
okay.
The first day of fall is on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
A few other things going on for you. All right, let's get into this. Our moon will soon be getting some company.
A tiny asteroid is going to start to orbit Earth September 29th, and it's going to essentially act as a mini moon. Researchers discovered it last month during routine monitoring. It's only going to be around until November 25th before it returns to an asteroid belt around the sun. You won't be able to see it with the naked eye, though. Experts say it will only be visible with the type of telescopes that are used by professional astronomers.
Aren't these pictures just amazing?
They are.
Look at that picture from NASA of Earth. Just fascinating. Oh, and then there's that big rock.
That's the mini moon.
Yeah, it's a big rock.
Big rock.
Yeah, back to Earth.
Back to Earth. Back to us.
Yeah, back to us. Well, I tell you, that first half hour went really well.
Oh, didn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Let's submit that one for some awards. I say, if you want a train wreck, rewind.